Prime Minister Dr. H.F. Verwoerd and Mrs. Verwoerd arrived for the Republic Festival Parade at the Voortrekker Monument.
Hendrik Verwoerd was generally regarded as the chief architect of this grand apartheid policy. It was his idea in the late 50s to separate the country into a white nation and a series of independent states for the various black tribes.
My friends, this republic is part of the white man's domain in the world.
When Dr. Verwoerd took over, there's no doubt there was a change. And he was an extremely impressive speaker, I must tell you. In fact, you used to listen to him speaking for 3 hours without a note, adding one thing after the other, and you sat there nodding your head like a zombie until it suddenly occurred to you it's all based on a false premise.
Our policy is one which is called by an Afrikaans word apartheid. It could much better be described as a policy of good neighborliness.
He had convinced himself and a large number of well-meaning Afrikaners that there was nothing repressive about the system. It was simply separation. They had their areas and the whites had their areas. This is our only way of survival. We maintain the army, the police, the vote, and we keep it that way.
Watch out, Verwoerd. The black man will get you. Watch out, Verwoerd. The world sings with me.
The government was powerful. The government was strong. And the laws were coming far and more stringent, you know.
Political activity was getting nowhere. In fact, the situation was getting worse. White South Africa and its government simply determined it would crush the struggle. And they tried.
Armoured cars and armed police swooped onto the Nyanga township 10 miles from Cape Town, aided by spotting aircraft. 1,500 natives were arrested and questioned. 162 were kept in prison.
There was a state of emergency in the 1960s. Thousands of people were arrested. Many were detained.
The ANC had been declared illegal, so Oliver Tambo was sent out of the country. And some of the other leaders followed. Mandela, it was decided, should stay in the country. And he carried on his work underground. And one of the things he had is a beard. So it was well known in flyers, on photographs, this man with his beard. It was a very nice little beard. And when he went underground, we thought the first thing he had to do is to shave off his beard. He wouldn't. He just refused. The only disguise he agreed to, he'd put on a cap and he'd wear overalls because now and then he acted as a chauffeur.
I went to see a 42-year-old African lawyer, Nelson Mandela, the most dynamic leader in South Africa today. The police were hunting for him at the time, but African nationalists had arranged for me to meet him at his hideout. He is still underground. This is Mandela's first television interview. I asked him what it was that the African really wanted.
The Africans require the franchise on the basis of one man, one vote. They want political independence.
Now, if Dr. Verwoerd's government doesn't give you the kind of concessions that you want sometime soon, is there any likelihood of violence?
There are many people who feel that it is useless and futile for us to continue talking peace and non-violence against a government whose reply is only savage attacks on an unarmed and defenseless people. And I think the time has come for us to consider whether the methods which we have applied so far are adequate.
I had made a statement where I called for armed struggle. Naturally, there was a great deal of resistance from the leadership.